Hello parents, this is Chris Allen and I would like to give you an update for the week of March 8th. This week in geometry we are looking at inscribed angles and arcs. So here we have a circle and we see that there's an angle X up there, and so if we know that the measure of that angle is 40 degrees, we might be asked to find the measure of the other two minor arcs. Well, it turns out that the arc VW, which is basically formed by that inscribed angle, is going to be double the measure of the inscribed angle, or another way to say it is that the inscribed angle is half the measure of the intercepted arc, so it's going to be 80 degrees. Arc XV is going to be 100 degrees because a semicircle's arc is 180, so if we take 180 minus 80, we get 100. In Calc AB, we are looking at solving differential equations. And here is an equation, the square root of 1 minus 4x squared y prime equals x. This is what we call a separable differential equation. So the first thing, and probably the most important step, is to separate the variables. So here we can see that we've got all the y variables on the left and the x variables on the right. So now we can go ahead and undo that differentiation with integration, and we will get the following answer. Y equals negative 1/4 square root of 1 minus 4x squared plus c. In Calc BC, we are looking at the very end of Chapter 8, which we've been in since the beginning of this semester, so it's been a long haul, but we're in Section 10 now on Taylor series, and we could ask a student to use the definition of Taylor series to build one for the function ln of x with a center of 1. So the first thing that the student would need to do is figure out what f and its derivatives are, and then evaluate those derivatives at x equals 1 to figure out the slopes of those tangent lines. And then using the definition for our Taylor series, build the following series, which would be n equals 0 to infinity of negative 1 to the n, quantity x minus 1 to the n plus 1 over n plus 1. Final thoughts for this week. Number one, most important thing, this is the end of the 9 weeks this Friday. So Friday, March 12th is the end of the third quarter. Spring break will begin on Saturday, March 20th, and the last day of spring break will be Sunday, April 4th. And once we come back from spring break, all students that are hybrid will become in-person students. So we will see an increase of students attending school. Instead of coming just 2 days a week, they'll be coming 4 days a week. Virtual students will still have that option to remain virtual. Please make sure that you are checking Canvas to see what assignments or what modules there are for the week. Whenever a student says, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, they should always be able to check the module, and you as a parent can check that module. Also be checking grades in Skyward so you can see how those grades are going to turn out. In fact, you might want to check them right now just to get a conversation with that student, here before the last couple of days of this 9 weeks to get those grades turned in if they have any missing assignments. And as always, thank you for your support and your attention.